Popsockets are an interesting print-on-demand product that almost nobody talks about. So I said, you know what? Today we're going to talk about them. As you can see, I use one on my phone. It's got all of my family's micro chihuahuas kind of mix and matched on the design, which is a nice fun way of designing pop sockets. And hey, it's available for sale on Amazon. It actually does generate some sales, interestingly enough. And as you can see, I mean, I love it. I buy it. But today we're going to look into some of the best-selling pop sockets out there, do a little market research, talk about what price point should we be selling them at, and if there's time, maybe even look into a complementary Amazon merch product in phone cases. So if you guys didn't know, back in the day in Amazon merch, when I first started, we could only sell 2 products. It was a standard t-shirt and a premium t-shirt. So really, you could say 1 product, but they've since expanded the catalog to include 12 additional products, pop sockets and phone cases being 2 prime examples of the 12. So we're going to deep dive into them today. Let's get to it. So let's dive right into it. Not all research tools allow you to dig into products beyond t-shirts, honestly, but Merch Dominator, in fact, does let us look into both pop sockets and phone cases. So I'm going to go to MBA and KDP, and then I'm going to click bestsellers. Now, on this screen at the very top, we have all of our filters. On the right-hand side under product, you can click that, and you can see all of the Amazon merch product types. Why don't we start with what we planned and go to pop sockets, and then I'm going to hit search. Now, in addition to being able to filter by product, there are other ways you can filter under sorting, like by BSR, by reviews, by price, by how new they are, which is a nice way of spotting trends, how old they are, or just hit random and literally just see what comes up. Let it do a little shuffle for you. But if we just do by BSR, which we've done here, we're now looking at the best sellers in order by BSR, bestseller rank. It's a data point that Amazon makes publicly available to us, so we don't have to guess how well these products are selling relative to each other. By the way, worth mentioning that, a pop socket with a BSR of 900 is not the same as a t-shirt with a BSR of 900. They're in separate categories. So the BSR is kind of reset in terms of their relativity in different categories, okay? Now, what do you notice right away? If we're trying to make a best-selling pop socket, where might we want to start? Just at a glance, okay? I think if you are saying we should consider selling flowers, I would agree with you, because out of the top 10 here, it looks like 5 or maybe 4 are very floral, okay? 4 of them are. If we scroll down a little bit more, you see a lot more of the floral elements in the design. Also, let me just show you, in case you're new to pop sockets, we can drill down into a more advanced view here in Merch Dominator, but what I'm really looking for is the Amazon link. Check this out. If we pull it up on Amazon, Amazon's expanded the pop socket offering. I honestly think they bought the intellectual property rights to pop sockets, and they have exclusivity on them. So I think if you're don't quote me, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty darn sure that's the case. So you don't really have too much competition there. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that there is a magnetic pop grip, okay? So pop socket, pop grip, whatever we're calling it, whatever they're calling it, really. Okay, we don't actually get to mess with the product type, okay? So when it says pop grip for MagSafe, we get to do more of the SEO part, not that part. They have an adhesive pop socket, pop grip, okay? That is what I use on my phone. It's honestly not great, but in terms of for sales, I think it's good, because I've had to reorder the same one multiple times because it just sometimes just pops off and I lose it. And then they have a magnetic pop wallet, which has a $32 price point here. And this looks like it's priced around the minimum. I did mention that we were going to talk about price points as well, so I won't drop the ball there. You only get to set the price once in Amazon merch on the back end. So based on what you set that price to, it'll adjust the price of the magnetic pop grip and the magnetic pop wallet. But I just wanted to show you that all 3 of those are created for us. And here in Merch Dominator, by the way, you can see things like price history and BSR history over time. So if you want to track trends, you can do all of that back here. You can also do a lot more, like check trademarks and all that good stuff. Really quickly, let me pop over into Amazon merch and show you guys. On the product creation screen for Amazon merch, you can scroll down. You'll see the pop sockets in the second to last row right here. All you need to do is click edit details to open this up. Now, this is a special kind of product in that most products on the Amazon merch catalog, we can dynamically set the price and we will see our estimated royalty adjust accordingly. So if we were to change this from $14.99, actually, I'll illustrate this later. Let me show you. So if we have a pop socket and we charge $14.99 in the US market, we make $2.10 royalty. If we up that to $19.99, we increase that price by 33%. The royalty only jumps to $2.80. Okay, so $14.99 was $2.10, and $19.99 goes up to $2.80. Now, I guess if you really think about it, it does jump by the same percentage. So maybe this is a dumb point to make, but it typically does not work that way. Let me show you how it typically works. Up here on a standard t-shirt, okay, if you set a standard t-shirt price point to $14.99, you make $1.19. If you jump that up to $19.99, you make $4.89. So it goes up. Check me on my math there, but I'm pretty sure it goes up significantly more. At least on a percentage basis, it goes up more. So that's what I wanted to share. Like the same goes for tumblers. Their price point kind of functions the same. If you go from $20.99 to $21.99, the royalty jumps like pennies. You know what I mean? It jumps like 10 cents or something. So I would recommend just roll with the standard kind of default pricing that Amazon Merch suggests. In the $11.99 to $14.99 price point. You saw mine were priced at $14.99. Okay, back to this. Between the floral stuff, we've got one that looks like it's kind of based in the mountains there. We've got a kind of black and gray American flag that looks really cool. Some reading themed ones. This says just one more chapter with a bunch of books and kind of magical elements. One that just says mama. I actually saw a few of these in this design style here. There was one that also had a heart down here. Let me pull them up so we can zoom in. So it's basically black on a gray background. So here in Amazon Merch, when you're uploading your design and creating these designs for certain products like Popsockets, you can actually click the color wheel here and set a background color. Okay, and you can also go in and manually enter in, a hex code or use the color picker and just watch it adjust in real time to kind of mimic something like what we just saw there. We had a few designs that looked like black on a dark gray. Okay, and then you can hit preview and you can preview what it's gonna look like. So if you guys didn't know and you're on Amazon Merch, make sure you leverage this information. Back to doing the research, you can see this one says mama. I bet this is gonna do really well ahead of Mother's Day. This one is just a minimalist heart. Now I probably would have made the heart bigger, but who am I to judge? I mean, this one is selling pretty well. What was the BSR on that one? It is 13,000. Okay, again, not the same as having a 13,000 t-shirt BSR, but worth noting that is, one of the best sellers right now. Look at these, a couple reading themed pop sockets there. So we had the just one more chapter, a skeleton that says you had me at trigger warning. Another one says go away, I'm reading. Now with pop sockets, because there's the 3 variations, that's why sometimes Merch Dominator will display the same one multiple times, because each variation has its own unique ASIN on Amazon. So that's just worth noting there. The bows, what is it called? Coquette. That's a big one this year. We've got the 3D pattern effect. That's been big for years. So with the flowers here, I think we saw 3D. Yeah, the top number 1 and number 2, actually, the 3D flowers. Again, that's just getting good with prompts and, choosing an AI image generator typically. Okay, the minimalist hearts seem to be pretty popular, actually. Check this out. Here's 4, not quite in a row, but 4 really close in terms of BSR, 15,200, 15,300, 15,800, and 15,900. So I take back what I said earlier. It seems like the really small hearts, very minimalist, like literally monotone against different background colors, seems to be in right now for pop sockets. And the crazy thing is a sale of a pop socket counts just as much towards your next tier if you're trying to get tiered up on your merch account as a t-shirt sale. But I bet you there's a lot less competition on pop sockets, and the way you optimize some of these designs for a pop socket is certainly different than you might for a t-shirt. So worth considering, guys. I mean, if you're still with me, I'm assuming you've got some interest here in selling pop sockets, so I appreciate that. We got the cherry pattern with the bows. We got the outdoor with the trees. Interesting. That's kind of reminds me of like a tarot card here. This one right here with the monotone against the black. What is that, like cottage core with the mushrooms and the plants? I mean, a lot of these are probably just AI created. Let's be real. Anything that's more or less optimized for a all over print, I would say like the phone cases are, the pop sockets are, you would probably do really well with AI. I love this one with the lemon here. And by the way, if you have something like this that's selling well, definitely like double down on it. For instance, you could bring this lemon graphic into Photoshop and then just go up to image adjustments. You could do this in Photop as well, photop.com. And you could just mess around. You could make it literally an orange, just like that. I'm just changing the hue slider here. You could make it a blood orange or a grapefruit. You could make it a neon blue fruit. I don't know where that's supposed to go. And you could make it a lime. You know what I mean? And that took all of like 5 seconds. So that was just where my head went. Like if the lemon's working, make sure to at least sell it on, an orange, a grapefruit, and a lime. But I love how that one looks. So jumping back up to the top, I switched the product filter to phone cases. As you can imagine, like there was 3 types of pop sockets. Well, there's like 10 plus types of phone cases. So we're going to see a lot of duplicates as a result, but let's just do a quick scroll through and see what's popular. It looks like Amazon Merch has contracts with like Disney, Marvel, MTV, a bunch of big brands. So you're going to see some Disney stuff here. You can also filter that out in Merch Dominator, by the way, under advanced filters. So that first one looks just like a beachy pattern with seashells. The next one's definitely a Disney movie. Is that Lilo and Stitch or something? Okay, another popular kind of pattern with like a dog holding a bouquet in its mouth, an orange slice, some cherries, a cowboy boot with flowers, and a disco ball. Interesting selection there. Another all over print says East Coast. It's got a bunch of like ocean elements, sunglasses, flowers, etc. Some vertical stripes here, blue and green. Interesting selection. Yeah, I never really can make too much sense of the phone cases. Okay, we got a Mickey Mouse head. I would stay away from that unless you have the rights to sell it. More vertical stripes. This time it's red and pink. I like this one here. It looks like it could be Disney, but it's got, a princess and a prince, and then it's got the kind of that church glass look. Sonic, the Sonic game. I want to say the Sonic movie, but Sonic totally was a game first, right? I know it was when I was growing up. What else? Lilo Stitch again. Southern style, and it's got a dog with a goose in its mouth, and it's got a little bit of camo print there. I imagine like the basic camouflage phone cases would do well. Another kind of all over print watercolor style. It's got like sea elements. It says more amore, and it's got Italy, it looks like, or Italian. Just kind of all over the place with the phone cases. This would be so much harder for me to break into because I know Amazon Merch is also weird about certain keywords that describe the design or the design elements. Like in the past, we could get away with saying so many more words than we can say today. They didn't want customers returning products because they were misled based on the keywords we use to describe the designs. So it's resulted in them banning a lot of words that you would theoretically think would be, okay to use. So I think with a lot of these phone cases and the all over print patterns, you might fall into that trap and end up with rejections. So here's one. It says Jesus is King with the cross. The bows here, the bows pattern. Underneath here, more crosses and like a cross pattern. Kind of an all over print, like Texas, maybe Southern, Western style. What else? A lot of the same. A lot of these vertical stripes. What is the keywords around the vertical stripes? Let's check that out and then I'll wrap the video. But I got to see. So it says Alice Blue pinstripe. So I guess the primary keyword is just pinstripe. And it says in an English country garden case. So maybe that's got something to do with the case itself since it says garden case. I could be wrong. If you know, let me know in the comments. But Alice Blue, certainly describing the color there. And you can sort this by all time and see the BSR history. It seems like it fluctuates by quite a bit. So probably just an evergreen product here that is maybe even being uploaded by the same seller that's uploading all the other vertical pinstripe themed phone cases because, hey, maybe it worked once and they were like, all right, let's switch up the color scheme and upload them again. By the way, in Merch Dominator, you can also scroll down here. It doesn't work nearly as well for the, non-t-shirt products, but you can see things like, single keywords, long tail keywords, etc. and try to essentially figure out like what is driving traffic to these listings, but it works way better for t-shirts. By the way, if you want to try Merch Dominator, I'm going to drop a link to it in the description. It's really one of the only tools that lets you even do what we attempted to do in this video and look at, products other than standard t-shirts on Amazon Merch. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon at the next video.